Yo, howdy folks, how's it going? This is Comment64. How you guys doing today? And I want to apologize for the terrible lighting. Yeah, right now I'm filming this at nighttime. It's Friday right now. It's gonna be Saturday pretty soon, I think. So this is a video I've been meaning about doing for a while. And this video I want to talk about Marvel. It's about Marvel. Why I think Marvel is just one of the best, you know, companies out there. In terms of everything that Marvel has to offer. Mostly related to the characters. You know, Marvel is just overall just amazing because Marvel just has done so many you know things. Marvel, the characters within the Marvel universe are just have become icons and staples throughout the world. Spider Man, X Men, the Hulk, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, Black Panther, Hawkeye, The Punisher, Daredevil, Blade, Elektra. There's so many. I ain't go for it. There's so many amazing characters. You know, just so many amazing characters that Marvel has had in its library. Which Marvel has had a huge cast of characters. I think even huger than any other company. I mean, sure, maybe DC probably has the same equal amount, and so does many other companies. But I think Marvel just has a lot, and the fact is, Marvel, how huge and popular like all the characters are. Spider Man, yeah, of course, Spider Man obviously is pretty much known throughout the whole world. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Spider Man is basically to Marvel like what Mario is to Nintendo, Sonic is to Sega, and SpongeBob basically is to Nickelodeon. That we can't deny. Yeah, that's his whole character mascot. For sure, yeah, Spider Man is you know a popular icon, and that's the thing, Excuse me, sorry, getting a little tired a little bit. You know, almost all the Marvel characters are pretty much icons throughout the world. Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, Wolverine, the X Men. All of them are pretty much almost all of the Marvel characters are pretty much household names now. Before the only Marvel characters that were hugely popular were Spider Man, the X Men, and the Hulk, and maybe the Fantastic Four too. But some of the others not really. No one knew who Captain America was. No one knew who Iron Man was. No one knew who Thor was. They weren't really huge names at the time. Especially like back during the '90s and I think maybe the '80s too. But thanks to the MCU, making these characters household names. And that's pretty much another cool thing about the MCU because the MCU, basically had like a whole bunch of Marvel characters, like even obscure ones. Yeah, when they were developing the MCU, they could have used any of the popular ones like Spider Man or X Men. I mean, yeah, they were using Hulk. Well, I think that was like a deal. That was like some kind of deal they were doing with Universal, which I believe still owns the film rights to the Hulk. I believe so. That's probably why the MCU hasn't really made a solo Hulk movie in ages now. But yeah, the MCU, they had to like dig in and find out the characters that they can use. They could have used any of the big names like Spider Man, X Men, and maybe a couple of those like Blade, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, because their rights were owned by different companies because back in the late '90s, Marvel pretty much Marvel was basically going through bankruptcy, and so what they did, they sold the movie rights to most of the characters, so people can make movies of them, and some went out to different companies. I mean, and there's some more chosen like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye, Black Widow. They weren't chosen, but Spider Man was chosen. Obviously, so was X Men, Fantastic Four, and Hulk, and Daredevil. Fox did X Men, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and Elektra. Well, Elektra's part of Daredevil, so something. So yeah, and Universal bought Hulk, and New Line Cinema bought Blade, and what was the company that bought Punisher? I forgot. So yeah, yeah, the fact that they didn't when they were doing the MCU, they couldn't have used any of the big name, the popular ones that were known at the time: Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Hulk, basically. So they pretty much had to like dig in, their catalog and see what other characters they could use. They banked on Iron Man, and Iron Man, became the 2008 Iron Man movie became a huge success. Like it just exploded at the box office and was pretty awesome. And yeah, and I remember seeing it in the theater. It was pretty awesome. And then other movies came, and then they started to do like a Captain America movie, then a Thor movie, and Thor wasn't really popular at the time. Now, the 2011 Thor movie pretty much helped make Thor a popular character. You know, Captain America: First Avenger made Captain America a popular name, and then the 2012 when the Avengers movie came out, like the movie blew all expectations, and it was just a phenomenal movie all around. It became a worldwide phenomenon. Even saying so on the back of the DVD, Blu-ray cover, back box set DVD. You know. So yeah, and there have been like others, and and then after that, you know, when they walk continue with the MCU, they continue making movies with certain the big name characters, the original ones that started, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, and then they decided to use the Guardians of the Galaxy. And the Guardians of the Galaxy were pretty much obscure Marvel characters that nobody knew. And the 2014 movie pretty much helped make them a household name. And then 2015, Ant Man, and then that helped made Ant Man a popular character. And other characters like Shang-Chi, Black Panther. Black Panther just exploded in popularity. Just exploded at the box office, being a huge success. Um, Doctor Strange, you know, and and then MC Marvel Studios made like a deal with Sony to so they can use Spider-Man and put him in the MCU, and that was a great idea. And the Marvel characters, yeah. So the MCU has pretty much made some of these obscure Marvel characters very popular. And yeah, Marvel has that like I said before, Marvel has a huge cast of characters. Characters that have became icons, that are pretty much staple icons. If you say Marvel characters, sure, there are some Marvel characters that people don't know about, like sure, but the MCU has pretty much helped made all these characters popular names now. I mean, certain people that know certain characters probably still don't know certain characters, but some of them probably know now because thanks to the MCU, the Marvel movies, and the Marvel shows, and sure, the MCU is not pretty much as huge success as it is now, but I do think it's somewhat. starting to get back on track. So, Captain America: Brave New World didn't blow expectations out of the water. It was kind of generic at most, but it was still somewhat an enjoyable movie. And with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four first step coming out soon, I'm not really looking forward to Thunderbolts. Really, honestly, this doesn't really catch my interest. But Fantastic Four, I really am, and the Fantastic Four, trailer was just amazing. I was thinking about doing a video reaction, but I decided, nah, I'm good. But that's why I filmed a short instead. So yeah, and yeah, I just love Marvel. You know, prove me if I'm wrong, but I think Marvel is one of the biggest brands out there, bigger than Sega, bigger than Nickelodeon, bigger than Nintendo, bigger than Capcom. It's a friendly rival that make versus games with. Namco, Disney, yo, that's what I think. I mean, DC, I think it's DC's tied with Marvel. Yeah, I think Marvel is like tied with DC, but I feel like that Marvel is just more iconic now, more iconic than, because because of because their characters, their huge cast of characters. Like yeah, like Marvel has like a huge cast of characters. Even including supporting characters. Spider Man. And his supporting characters: Mary Jane, Harry Osborn, Aunt May, Uncle Ben, J. Jonah Jameson, and even the villains: Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Chameleon, Craven the Hunter, the Lizard, Sandman, Mysterio, Scorpion, and I guess that even goes for X Men and you know and even their supporting characters and their villains. Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Gambit. Gambit and Wolverine being fan favorites. Jubilee, Rogue, Deadpool, X-23, Magneto, you know, even the Hulk, Hulk, the Fantastic Four, Daredevil. Yes, Marvel is just huge. You know, Marvel is just so fantastic. And I just love Marvel. I've been a long time Marvel fan because I love Marvel for years. Between that and DC, I've always been more of a Marvel fan because Marvel, I just connected with Marvel more. I feel more connected with the Marvel characters than with DC characters. I mean, especially with Spider Man. I mean, heck, everybody pretty much identifies with Spider Man. That's one of the reasons why he's a popular character because people identify with him. Like Peter Parker, people identify with him. His struggles he goes through. Peter Parker essentially well in most incarnations is basically a teenager. Well yeah, they have him start off as a teenager and then he eventually becomes an adult. So you get what I'm saying, because Peter Parker basically feels like what we could be, like feels like a teenager as an actual superhero. Because that was a popular thing, having teenagers as superheroes, a very popular thingy, and that's why Peter Parker has always been so admired and like a character that we all love because we relate to him. His struggles he goes through. The choices he has to make and the decisions he has to make, and learn he has to give up certain things that he wants in life. Like we see in Spider-Man True when he was struggling, going through doing certain things, but eventually, he managed to get through all of it, and it managed to make things work. You know, and that's why people love Peter Parker. And like there are other Marvel characters like Tony Stark. He's a character that we somewhat admire and look up to because he has struggles. His alcoholism. Stuff like that. And Bruce Banner. We I guess we do somewhat identify him because he's left with some kind of some kind of curse that he has to live with for the rest of his life, and he has trouble controlling it. I mean, I'm not sure I want to say the Hulk is a curse. Maybe some a little bit, but I think you probably get what I'm saying. But so yeah, the Marvel characters are all pretty much, you know, they feel like we can relate to them more, you know, and like Wolverine, we can relate to him because I guess because how he feels kind of distant sometimes. Though the way he acts, I mean, sure, some people probably act like Wolverine. That's just what I see. I mean, Marvel is just so yeah. Marvel has characters that you feel connected and you can feel like you can identify with these guys. And one of the reasons why I think Marvel is even bigger than even DC and other companies because yeah, like I said, they have a huge cast of characters. And sure, other franchise has huge cast of characters like The Simpsons, Arthur, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob has huge cast of characters. Family Guy, Futurama, and even like other children's shows like the Lot House and I think Fairly Odd Parents and heck even Thomas the Tank Engine. Franchise that have a huge cast of characters like endless amount of characters, a lot, a whole lot. And I think even that's the same thing with even the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise and I think maybe the Marvel franchise too. But I feel like Marvel has had a lot more. I could be wrong on that. You can feel free to correct me, but that's just how I look at it. And Marvel has so many iconic and lovable characters, from heroes to villains, and even supporting characters. Heroes like Spider-Man, Wolverine, the Hulk, Iron Man, and Captain America. Villains: Doctor Doom, Doctor Octopus, Green Goblin, Magneto, Galactus, Thanos, Ultron, and even the supporting characters, Mary Jane Watson, Betty, uh, Betty Brant, the main love interest of Bruce Banner from the Hulk. I forgot her last name, Betty. I don't think it's Betty Brant now. Betty Brant is from Spider-Man. So yeah, and many others, Marvel is just iconic, and all their characters are probably household names because thanks to the MCU, the huge amount of television series that Marvel has over the years, with and even having guest appearances. Marvel characters make guest appearances on these shows, like the 1994 Spider-Man animated series. One of the best things about that series that had like huge appearances, guest appearances, and crossovers with many different Marvel characters. Spider-Man got they introduced Blade, the Punisher, Doctor Strange, the X-Men, basically the same versions from the 1992 X-Men animated series. So they are connected. And Iron Man, I think Iron Man, that's the same version of Iron Man from the 90s Iron Man animated series. I could be wrong. I don't know. Well, I did check on Wikipedia, so yeah. So yeah, you know, and like Marvel characters, they're basically household names. And like another fun thing is that almost every Marvel character has a live action version of themselves. Spider-Man has three from Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, the Hulk, three people: Eric Bana, Edward Norton, and Mark Ruffalo, playing Bruce Banner. Daredevil, Matt Murdock. You know, Ben Affleck, and the guy who played him in the Daredevil Netflix series, and even Daredevil Born Again. I forgot the guy's name. And people were cheering when they saw him in No Way Home. Yeah, that shows that the shows and the movies are connected. No, they're all the MCU. Yeah, and other Marvel characters that have live action appearances or versions of themselves. Elektra, Jennifer Gardner, Who else? Jessica, Susan Storm, Jessica Alba, uh, Kate Mara, I think that's the name, who played her in the Jedi Fan 46 from 2015. And now that new actress that's going to play in Fantastic Four First Steps. And fun fact, apparently her and the guy who played John Storm are kind of under some controversy because of what they said about how they're going to portray the characters, something like that. I mean, I don't know too much about it. Probably another woke stuff, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, and other characters like Thor, Chris Hemsworth, Wesley Snipes' Blade, and who's probably going to be the only Blade, like he said in Deadpool and Wolverine. And sorry, only the guy who was going to play Blade in the MCU looks like you ain't gonna get your chance. I don't know, she probably will, maybe. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, who's just liked by pretty much everybody, as Captain Marvel. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Um, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, I think. Yeah, Shang-Chi. The guy who plays Iron Fist. I forgot his name. His name skipped me. The guy who plays Luke Cage. The actress that plays Jessica Jones. I forgot her name. And she was in Sonic 3. Great performance. And I think her favorite game is Shadow the Hedgehog. Sorry to be a little off topic, but it's a little fun little thing. And Jessica Jones, I think she was also another obscure Marvel character, or I think she was just newly made, way back in the 2010s, or I forgot, I'm not sure, but yeah, James Marsden, Cyclops, the actress that and also the other guy who plays Cyclops in kind of the later films, the actress that plays Jean Grey, both actors, I forgot their names. Um, you know, Channing Tatum and Taylor Chris, who played Gambit. So yeah, a lot of Marvel characters have had live action appearances, live action versions of themselves. Marvel is just amazing. Marvel is just we love their characters, we love their stories, we love these characters dearly. And Stan Lee, may he rest in peace. Thank you. We gotta thank him for creating these iconic and legendary characters who are going to continue to go on for years and years and years and even centuries. Spider-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Wolverine, Daredevil, the Punisher, Blade, Doctor Strange, Doctor Thanos, Ultron, Galactus, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Black Panther, Daredevil. Did I mention Daredevil's name? I don't know. I don't think I did. Iron Fist, and many more. These characters are going to continue to go on for years. Yeah, and even Ant-Man, the Wasp, and all the Guardians of the Galaxy. All these characters are probably going to continue to go on for years and years and years. We'll see more incarnations of these characters in the 2030s, the 2040s, 2050s, and going into the next century. These characters are probably going to go on, are definitely going to go on forever. And Marvel has even had a huge success with the video games. Marvel Rivals is basically killing it. I haven't played the game, but I've been meaning to and I've wanted to. But unfortunately, I don't have the current gen console to play it on. I do want to get a PS5, and I will get one soon. But overall, I just freaking love Marvel. And I just wanted to talk about, how amazing, Marvel is with its huge cast of characters. It's hugely cast of characters, And there are some characters I forgot to mention, like Ghost Rider and such. And also, like, Nicolas Cage playing Ghost Rider in live action. Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace, played him. Played Black Panther in live action. Elizabeth Olsen playing Scarlet Witch. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Chris Evans as Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, the role that pretty much saved his career. Chris Pratt as Star Lord, Zoe Saldana as Gamora. You know, Marvel's just yeah, amazing. And that's why I also feel like that Marvel characters are more iconic than DC characters because I feel like the Marvel characters are probably more well known than than most of the DC characters. I mean, the DC side, most characters that people know about are Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. I'm talking about the casual people, not the diehard hard fans, comic book fans. Like, yeah, like I said before, characters like Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor were not well known, and never really weren't known and stuff. Only diehard comic book fans knew who they were, but casual fans not really. Casual fans only knew Spider Man, the X Men, the Hulk, and Fantastic Four too as well. But unless you were a diehard comic book reader, you wouldn't know who Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hawkeye, or who any of those guys were. And even Ghost Rider. And I think that was the same thing with DC. With DC, I think it was just only Superman and Batman who were well known, and maybe Wonder Woman too. But and Marvel characters got more exposures and popularity through appearing in making some guest appearances on Marvel animated series like the 1994 Spider-Man animated series, um, you know, and the MCU, making moves with them. So yeah, and I feel like I feel like the Marvel characters are more iconic than the DC characters. I mean, like with the DC characters, yeah, sure they have huge cast of characters too, but we don't see. But since a DC doesn't seem to do that much movies of their characters, or it is, I mean, sure they do animated movies and such, but I think Marvel is just doing a lot more. Like because casual fans, they probably, I mean, they do probably do know Batman. They already know Batman and Superman, and yeah, Batman is pretty much to DC what Marvel Spider-Man is to Marvel. Official mascot. Yeah, people know about Batman, Superman, yeah, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Arrow, mainly because the CW shows and also Supergirl and Wonder Woman, and also Stargirl. But I don't know if anybody knows about and also yeah, some other DC stuff like Teen Titans and stuff. But I don't think there's some, and like of course yeah, Harley Quinn's popular, but let's be honest, Marvel is still hugely popular. Characters are, I feel, are still more iconic. More iconic. I mean, I think Deadpool is more iconic than Harley Quinn is. I mean, Harley Quinn is basically supposed to be the Deadpool of DC. I think Deadpool just does it way better in my opinion. And DC, yeah, DC does have a lot of popular characters like Lobo and such. But the Marvel characters, the Marvel characters have more movies and such. And one thing I did like about it in Deadpool and Wolverine was like the anchor scene showing behind the scenes of some of the Fox Marvel movies. And with that song saying "Time of Our Lives," I forgot the name of it, but I thought that was I thought that was a nice little tribute to saying goodbye to those movies. Deadpool and Wolverine felt like a great send off to the Fox Marvel universe. Indeed. Well, yeah. And Marvel is just overall I gotta say that Marvel is just fantastic, and that's why I think Marvel's just so cool. Thank you, Stan Lee, for making all these characters for us, and these characters are going to continue to be legends. Like and we also got to thank Jack Kirby. May he rest in peace too, because he did help create some of these characters too. You know, so yeah, there are some people who have been involved with Marvel who has passed away. Well, whether appearing in the movies, creating them, or appearing in the movies. So we lost Chadwick Boseman, and we also lost the guy who played Uncle Ben in Spider-Man films. He passed away in 2011. 2011 was going to be the year where the planned Spider-Man 4 is going to be released. but that never happened. And so we decided to do a full-on reboot, and that's how we got the Amazing Spider-Man films. Yeah, so yeah, Marvel, despite the fact that we lost those people who were involved with Marvel in some ways, we gotta thank them for contributing to Marvel in some way. And Tom Holland, he's probably going to continue to play Spider-Man for maybe a couple more years. We don't know. And I do look forward to some of the other upcoming Marvel movies. I'm looking forward to Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, and other stuff. And also, when is Nova gonna get a movie? I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna get a movie soon. He definitely should get a movie. Yeah, so yeah, and also I forgot. There's also White Tiger, who's also another obscure Marvel character, who's pretty much, I don't know if it's popular now thanks to the Ultimate Spider-Man Marvel series, but it's probably more known now. Known now. Known now. Sorry, I can't talk. Yeah. Thanks to that animated series. So yeah, do you guys agree that Marvel is just amazing? It has the best gallery of characters, from heroes, villains, supporting characters, from heroes to supporting characters to from from the heroes to the villains to the supporting characters. What do you think? And I just want to say that thank you, Marvel, for existing. And I'll continue to support your content in the years to come. So that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm getting tired now. I'm sorry if I kind of went all over the place in this video. My bad. Thank you. I was just thinking about stuff to say. What I want to say. There are a lot I want to say, and yeah. So that'll be it for this video, and I'll have it uploaded like later on. I think right now it's Saturday now. Could be wrong, but yeah. This is Conrad64. I'll see you guys later. I'll have more videos upcoming in the future, and you can let me know, who is your favorite Marvel character? You leave in the comment section below. But anyways, guys, take it easy, take care, and I'll be seeing you. Peace out. Marvel all the way, baby.